Okay, so remember in the last unit, we had something like this. And we were asked to simplify this and multiply the two binomials. So what we did was we split up this first part. I'm going to change colors here so we can see what's going. We take this x from here, and then we still have the x minus 3, and then the plus 5, and still the x minus 3. So notice that each of the first two terms were split up, and then they were each multiplied by the second binomial. So once we evaluate this, we get x squared minus 3x plus 5x minus 15, and then these middle two terms we can combine to be x squared plus 2x minus 15. So when we're factoring by grouping, what we're doing is we're going backwards from this step to this step. So remember that factoring is the opposite of distribution, or the opposite of multiplying binomials. So if we were given something like this, x times x minus 3, this is a really ugly color, plus 5 times x minus 3, and we were asked to factor this, what we're wanting to do is we're trying to go back to this original thing right here. So what we see is that x minus 3 is in both of these terms. So if we factor out an x minus 3, then what we're left with is x over here and then plus 5 over here. So this is what we mean when we say factoring by grouping. So I'm going to give you a couple of new ones to look at on your own, see if you can figure out how to factor them by grouping. Okay, so look at these two, see if you can figure out what the common factors would be and how we would factor these by grouping. Okay, hopefully you've at least started on this and you have some idea of what you would do. On this first one, we have in common the 5x minus 2 and the 5x minus 2. So the long way of writing this out, and you don't have to do this every time, is we would put the 5x minus 2 out here in front. And then in parentheses, 7x times 5x minus 2 divided by 5x minus 2 plus 3 times 5x minus 2 divided by 5x minus 2. So that's the long way of writing it out. If you can do that in your head, that's fine too. What it comes down to is that we're just going from this second step here back to where it began. So I'll do this next step in red. So we've got still 5x minus 2. Notice that this and this, they're going to cancel out. They're going to reduce to 1. Because when we have any number divided by itself, it equals 1. So we've got 7x that's left over. This is also going to reduce to 1. So what we have left over is plus 3. And this is our answer. So basically what we're doing is, instead of separating this term and this term like we did in the last unit when we were multiplying binomials, we put them back together here, 7x and 3. We put them back together when we factor. So this last one, I'm not going to write out the middle step, but the greatest common factor is 2x plus 1, and then 2x minus 9 is this one and this one once we divide.